WNBL26.
We're better balanced. I don't really like getting into the individual talent conversation because those teams are pretty good as well. But I think the balance offensively and defensively this time around is much better.
And in their time of need, Southside keeps its season alive.
There's one more game to decide it, so maybe until that game's played, maybe keep your mouth shut.
Townsville earns their shot at redemption. They do it the hard way.
Played in a lot of close games, and I think this is a team, probably besides Mila, that have played like close to over 50 games together or something like that. So I think we have the chemistry, we have the experience.
It's been a long and winding road to get to this point, but here we are. It is grand final time, game one in this three-game best of three grand final series. It starts in Townsville. The Townsville Fire, the Perth Lynx, the best two teams all season, going for all the marbles in our grand final series. Joel Peterson, my name. Great to have your company. And it's great to have you with us wherever you are right around the world. Beck Cole and Laurie Chiswick alongside me for this grand final series. Beck, this is what we play all season for to get to this time of year.
It sure is. I have goosebumps just from that introduction. Laurie and I were talking about it off air. We cannot wait for this grand final series. Two amazing teams going head to head. I cannot wait to see what unfolds, Laurie.
Well, I tell you what, we have been waiting all season for this, and they've come here, different roads, different ways to get here. But regardless of what happens, you have to have a little bit of luck along the way, and they certainly have both teams, and here they are ready to go. Game one, can't wait.
So they've played three times already this season. Let's take a look at their head-to-head matchups throughout the course of the campaign. You can pretty much throw out that first game. November 4, there was Lauren Cox for Townsville. There was Nohan Shu for Perth. Alex Gibbertoni didn't play in that game either. They then met on December 14. That was at Townsville. The Lynx did a number on the Fire on that occasion. They met at Hoops Fest as well, and it was the Fire on that occasion who were too good for the Lynx. So the two most recent games are our representative sample size there. If you take all three games as a whole, there is 1 point that separates these two teams across the course of their matchups so far this season. That shows how evenly poised this series will be.
It sure is, and this is why we have the first and second ladder position holders versing each other today. They're the best of the regular season, and that's why I can't wait to see what happens, Laurie, because 1 point, like you said, JP, that means whoever is in it to win it, everything is on the line, and it all starts tonight.
Well, one thing that I found really interesting when I was looking at the stats for these games is that every team that won was the away team. So does that now mean that the advantage is in Perth because they're the away team in game one? Townsville finished first all season, so they get that advantage. They get that home court advantage. Really interesting stat when they played each other. And
two very, very difficult venues to win in as well. Of course, Perth and Townsville is noted for that across so many years of WNBL competition. That sets us up. Let's get the coaches' thoughts on this rivalry, though. Shannon Seabohm and Ryan Petrie.
They're all different. They're all on their own merits. Feeling more confident this time probably than the last two times, just because one, we don't have the COVID year, and two, we're not a 5 seed. Like, we were clearly a top 3 team most, if not all, the year. Obviously, and clearly once Hahn turned up, we were definitely a top 3 side.
I guess you could call it a rivalry. We seem to always, cross them in the finals at some point. So I guess it's, it's fun now. It's for a championship and not just in a semi-final. But no, look, I mean, Ryan has done a great job with his program. Obviously, they've got a heck of a team, and probably I'm assuming the favourite's probably going in. So I think we need to get to the drawing board and figure out what it is that we're going to actually do against them to try and slow down their offence. We probably have a bit of a formula, I think, last time we played them in Perth. So we'll have to look at whether that's something we want to do again or not.
I have no doubt these two coaches know each other so well, their styles of play, the differences, the pieces that are going to move around in the puzzle. And it was interesting, in one of the conferences or press conferences that I heard from Shannon Seabohm, he sort of threw out there, well, we're the underdogs, and it was like, whoa, I don't know that there is an underdog this season, but both coaches, it'll be really interesting to see what strategies they bring for today's game, changing defense, changing matchups. Have they held anything back at all season to just throw out in the grand final season or grand final game? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, the stakes are high in this, of course. Both of these teams trying to win a championship. They've met in both or all three of the last semi-final series. Townsville went on to win a championship in 22-23, and then, of course, both of these teams fell short at the final hurdle in the ensuing 2 seasons. So there is so much to play for in this 3-game grand final series. Let's head inside the Townsville camp. They are at home for this first game. Our own Ariana Prather is courtside tonight. She caught up with Courtney Woods.
Ariana Prather here with Courtney Woods. Courtney, you are back on the court, and this is game 1 of the championship series here in Townsville. First and foremost, what's going through your minds in this moment a couple hours away from tip-off?
Yeah, honestly, I think we were really happy to survive the semis. Obviously, that getting pushed to game 3, it was a very kind of emotional roller coaster, and then it literally ends, and then suddenly it's like, okay, on to the next one. So it's been a quick turnaround to focus on Perth, but really happy we have another home game and able to play game 1 in front of our fans.
What's the biggest series that you took away from the semifinals and the season in general on what your team has to do, what you guys must do in order to protect home court tonight?
Yeah, I think obviously if you watch the semi-final, you know, there was a bit of a difference between game 1 and game 2. So that kind of for us just kind of comes down to focus and just sticking to the game plan. So we just kind of want to be that team that we were in game 1 and then like a little bit in game 3 as well. So just trying to control all the little things, like Perth obviously have an amazing team. So just kind of control everything we can to hopefully put a good foot forward.
Now, head coach Shannon Seabaum said that this was going to be a physical series. How do you combat physicality, or how do you use it towards your advantage?
Yeah, absolutely. Like the semi-finals are physical, so the grand final I'm sure is going to be even more than that. But I feel like something I've learned the last couple of years is you really just got to try not to fight the physicality. So I think kind of when you are feeling it, even like Mila as well, like when people are holding you, you've just got to be able to kind of play with counters, play with change of pace, because as soon as you kind of lean into the physicality and start creating more of it, it's just an absolute tussle and you end up fouling out. So hopefully we'll do a better job of that tonight.
Well, hopefully nobody fouls out from the Fire tonight, because it's going to take every single body you guys have to battle against the big footer inside the paint. Can't miss her. How do you guys plan on protecting the paint and taking her away out of the game?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. Something we have like talked about this week, but I feel like the kind of main thing is you just got to stay aggressive. Like obviously she's a massive presence offensively and defensively, but you've still got to be able to play kind of a normal game. So she's going to take things away. I'm sure we'll flash forward to a clip of me being blocked, but I'm going to go in there a second time and try again.
Courtney, congratulations on an amazing season. I'm excited to see you in this championship series, and thank you for joining me.
Awesome, thank you.
She's such a big part of everything that they do for this Townsville team. Courtney Woods, of course, a championship winner with this team a couple of seasons ago, and integral to their backcourt mix alongside Mila Soa and Abby Ellis-Beck.
Oh, she sure is, and she's had so much experience, and now to bring along her team as a captain will be super important. And that's why her, along with the other Townsville guards, their speed and their penetration tonight entering the key is going to be something vital. And as we see here, they need to attack downhill on penetration, get 2 feet in the paint. This leads to layups, easy dish-off passes, and this is so good for their guards because they have so many playmakers for them. And again, take advantage of their foot speed and force Hanju to move her feet laterally on defense when in those pick and roll situations, and force her to help and rotate.
And Courtney Wood saying there, you know, you need to be able to essentially play a normal game as much as you can. For Alicia Froling, that might be a different task entirely. Now, she was their best player in the semi-final series against Southside. She was absolutely magnificent, career best in game 3. And Laurie, she's going to be a really big part of just bringing some physicality and intensity in that painted area.
Well, she was massive. She was so impressive at both ends of the court. And as you said, imagine having your best career game in a do-or-die game 3 of a semifinal, and that's exactly what she did. But she has been so consistent. In fact, I really feel like she is the, in that series, that 3 games, she was my MVP for that series, Alicia Froling. And she is going to have to bring that exact sort of intensity, endeavor, persistence today, because she's going to be up against Han Shu. She can't afford to get into foul troubles. She did a good job against her last time they played. but it's going to be a challenge.
She feels like the tone setter and the heart and soul of this Townsville team. She's going to be massive for them in this grand final series. Game 1 is just around the corner. That's the Townsville side of things. We'll head inside the Perth camp and find out more with Alex Chibatoni. What a season she's put together. Career best all around. It's family time for Chibba as she gets set for Game 1.
Definitely one of the main reasons that I came up here, and then also to win a championship. They got very close last year, and yeah, that's definitely one of my goals.
I feel like anytime you get to the grand final and lose, it does stay with you.
It has kind of put a little bit of fire in our belly for this season, especially having, I think, 6 of us come back.
Hopefully we can get back to the finals again this year and have a chance to go one step further and win a championship.
We want to get back to that again this year, so I think just leaning off last year but not looking too far back at that, and focusing on the new group that we have this year as well at the same time.
Everyone that plays the sport has the same end goal, and that's to win a championship. As nice as like any personal achievements are on the way, it would mean the world to me to actually get there. I've been so close so many times, losing 2 grand finals. To finally get there and to win one would just be the most incredible experience.
We've been so close for 2 years now, you know, and especially that first year I was with Perth, we were right there, you know, one layup away from pretty much winning the grand final. And I think that Perth being home for me, like, I just want to bring a championship to them so bad.
Perth's where I grew up and where I'm from, and that's where all my family and friends are there, and I grew up watching the West Coast Waves at the time, so being able to bring that back would be, yeah, unreal, and win the 2nd championship in franchise history would be, yeah, just kind of the icing on the cake.
Yeah, we've been as close as you can get. So actually just winning it, it's like, okay, finally, thank God for that, and now let's just keep going. So it would feel like a weight off the shoulders more than anything else.
At the end of the day, it's what I've worked my whole life for. So yeah, to have played this many years and to never have got the final result would, you know, is pretty heartbreaking. So it would be incredible to get one this year.
The W Show ahead of Game 1 of our grand final series. That's our forward road to the finals. Great to get some of the emotion captured between these two teams. The vanquished grand finalists of last year in a Perth team that's been so close over so many years. And Alex Chibatoni finishing that package there. We mentioned it on our way to the break. What a season she's put together. All WNBL 2nd team. Career best numbers across the board. She's caught the eye of so many around the course of the competition, and that includes one of its biggest stars, Kelsey Griffin, who was absolutely glowing when speaking about her recently.
I want nothing for the best for her, but I also hope she knows that regardless of whether she stacks up a bunch of championships or not, her impact on the game is beyond that. And I think, like, you know, if I had a young guard or a daughter, I would say that's somebody I want you to emulate after because of her level-headedness. She just makes winning plays, but she doesn't do it for acknowledgement. Like, and I think that's just that can be quite rare these days. And so I think, yeah, I wish nothing but the best for her for sure. And I think she is a huge reason why they're so successful.
It's been an awesome story across the course of the season. Of course, a young mother returning to the sport in recent seasons, and she has been a massive, massive impact on this team. And as Kelsey said, throughout the course of the season, right from the start, right from the very first game, Laurie, making winning plays.
Well, I remember, I think it was game one for when they were in Adelaide and we were talking about Chibba, Adelaide Chibba, how well she did. And she just continued on the rest of the season. But something I really like about her is her demeanor and what she always brings. She's not too high, she's not too low. And she said something for her teammates is, grand finals are really hard to make. They're even harder to win. Really good piece of advice because we know that is exactly the truth.
It's you need that in every team, Beck. Someone who's just that level head and can just keep everything calm.
Oh, you sure do. And Laurie, you took the words right out of my mouth. Once you get to that senior level, it's so hard to get to a grand final series, let alone win one. And Chibba, what a way to finish off a season with winning a grand final with Perth, who she's played for so long with, and especially as a mother now.
It'll be a great part of the narrative, and it's just great a testament to say that it doesn't all have to happen at once in your career. It can happen over time and just continue to improve. That's what Alex Chibatoni's done. She's put together a great campaign. Let's get some thoughts from her. She caught up with our own Carly Wilson.
Well, Chibba, grand final week, it's got a different feel to it, doesn't it? It's all very exciting, and it must have been so lovely to hear someone like Kelsey Griffin have so many wonderful things to say about you this week.
Yeah, absolutely. When some of my teammates told me to watch the interview, I was like, okay, that's a bit strange. And listening to it, I was like, this is honestly so nice to hear, so refreshing, and coming from someone like a legend like Kelsey Griffin, like it was just so flattering, and yeah I was shocked.
Yeah. Well, you've been involved in 2 grand final series with the Perth Lynx, but you're still chasing that first championship. Is the group this year the group that is going to make it third time lucky for you?
Oh, honestly, I hope so. I think, you know, you couldn't ask for a better group of girls, honestly, and we've been playing well together all year. Hannah's slotted in perfectly to our team and has been a bit of a game changer for us. So, fingers and toes crossed that third time's the charm, but, you know, it's always a privilege to be here, and I know how hard it is to get here, so I'm just so excited and just taking everything in my stride.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing like a heartbreaking grand final loss, narrowly twice for you, to really teach you some lessons and motivate you. Have you been able to pass on that experience to your teammates, especially those that weren't involved in the 2022 season?
Look, absolutely. I feel like, you know, as they're hard lessons to learn, especially we're one layup away from a championship pretty much. But I definitely think it's something that we've been able to use and grow from, saying we've reviewed but tried not to let it fester or try not to bring it up too much. You know, we've all grown from there. A few of us were in that game, so I think, you know, we've just taken it in our stride, and I guess now we can we know how important every little minute is, or every decision. You know, it's the last second we lost it, but there was about 30 things we did throughout the game that we could have capitalised on and didn't, so yeah.
Well, just finally, there's only been a handful of players that have won a championship as a mum. How special would that be to be able to win one in front of your little son, Elijah?
Oh, it would be absolutely amazing, and to be able to celebrate with him would mean the world, you know. Fortunate enough to have him travel with me here, so I know it's only the first game, but it's always so much fun having him, and he's such an important part of our whole team, and he's a big part of it, and yeah, I must say I've loved playing even more since he's been around, so to have this with him would be incredible.
It's so fantastic. Well, we cannot wait to see you out there tonight. Thanks for your time and best of luck.
Thank you.
It's been a great story to follow all season, Alex Chibatoni. There wouldn't be anyone around the competition who'd be disappointed if she was to salute in this grand final series along with the Perth Lynx. And yeah, what a great chat that was with Carly Wilson. Perth's variance this season between their wins and losses has been a talking point. We know that they are a red-hot three-point shooting team. It is their bread and butter, what they are so good at. There's their stats in 20 wins versus 5 losses across the course of the season. Now, this will be a little bit the same for everyone, but that three-point variance, Beck, particularly for this Perth Perth team is such a big factor.
Oh, it sure is, and they have so many sharp shooters out there. When they're not on, it makes a big difference. They have to rely on Hanshu, the likes of Annalie Maley getting to the basket more. But when you have the likes of Wilson, Atwell, Chibatoni, and then Shu, as well as Maley hitting their threes, how do you guard that? I'm not sure I even know the answer to that. Good luck.
It's a pretty scary prospect for any team. And the one thing that they did add with Hanshu coming in, Laurie, is a huge deal of rim protection.
Well, Ryan Patrick talks about having 40 minutes of rim protection when you've got Hanshu and Morris coming in. And you can just look, she changes the shot there, changes Olsen's shot. That's what she's there for. And this next clip, you look, she doesn't come out of the key, Hanshu. You could just see her moving, timing that block on Courtney Woods. Maybe that's the one she was talking about in the interview. And finally, the other one that we're looking at, Morris, again, look how she keeps her feet in the paint. She moves with the ball, she follows it. Now she's able to get a block as well. And the other thing is too, is it gets you in a good rebounding position. They've got their feet in the paint all the time. She's wondering where, she knows where her player is, Alicia Frawling, but she's still aware where the ball is. There, nice rebounding position, blocking out. So certainly that rim protection, that ability to stay in the paint for Hanshu and Morris, especially with some non-shooters in the big spot, that's going to be really important for Perth today.
And you can see on those clips as well the communication from them on defence. So really the defensive anchor of this Perth team, both of them, is going to be a big factor in this one, of course. Game one of this grand final series is just around the corner. We continue to build up to it here in Townsville. We'll check in with Ariana and Carly very soon. The Lynx and the Fire. Game one of this deciding series in this WNBL26 season isn't too far away. For this first game of the grand final series, so much energy in Townsville for this one, and great to see a big crowd in the fire pit. As always, it is one of the toughest places to play in our competition, and it will be raucous tonight. The Townsville Entertainment Centre. It's going to be so much fun. Game one of this grand final series is just around the corner. Joel Peterson, Beck Cole and Laurie Chiswick here with you in studio. Let's head inside the venue and soak up some of the atmosphere. Ariana Prather and Carly Wilson are courtside. And Ariana, this is going to be so much fun.
Hey, Joel, I don't know who's who's more excited, the fans, the players, or me for this tip-off to happen, Carly? I'm so excited because it's going to be such a great matchup. And you know who's someone that's going to be key to the matchup is Courtney Woods. I spoke to her before the game, and she said it's all going to come down to Townsville Fire sticking to their core principles when it comes to defense and when it comes to tempo. Let's see if they can do that tonight. Who are you looking at for Perth?
So many players for Perth, but Annalie Maley for me, she is the heartbeat of this Perth Lynx team. She is going to really show this team with her leadership and her domination of the boards. But I think it's going to be defensively where they're going to need her most tonight.
I think it's all going to come down to defense as well. Joel, hopefully you can hear us over the cowbells here because it is so loud and the fans are just as excited as we are. Guys.
Actually, it's really hard to hear you. We're in the studio here. I can't imagine what it's like there, but really good to have both of you courtside and to get your insights during the game. But I wanted to ask you, Carly, is Alicia Frawling, how's she looking? Because she played big minutes across the course of those 3 games, bruising visit, the physicality of it, and she's going to have to front up again 4 days later than she did against and play against Han Shu. How's she looking out there in warm-up?
Laurie, she is looking fantastic. I spoke to her briefly before the game and she is excited. She said to me, I am ready for this game tonight and I am excited. I think it's going to be a great game. I've seen her parents up in the crowd already here, ready to cheer her on. She is ready for another blinder tonight.
And Ariana, we just spoke about Alicia Frawling and Townsville. They've had a quick turnaround. On the other hand, the likes of Perth Lynx, they've had a lovely 8-day rest with only going to Game 2 in their semi-final series. Are they up and about? Have you spoken to the girls? What's the vibe like in their camp?
Listen, you said it. They've gotten a lot of rest, and they seem like they do have a little bit of energy during the warm-ups, but really we don't know until both teams hit the court. Now, just looking at both teams as they're warming up here behind us, Perth has a clear size advantage. Are they going to be able to use that size advantage against the Fire tonight? That's what I think is going to be key.
Well, it's going to be great to hear from both of you throughout. Hope you like 2 things, great basketball and cowbells. Carly and Ariana, look forward to hearing more from you throughout the course of the evening.
All right, that's pretty good, but you guys have got a tour to use.
It's going to be great fun to catch up with them both throughout. And it is always so loud in that venue, Beck. It is an intimidating place to play.
Oh, it sure is, and I've been there many a times in my finals career, and they love giving you cowbell. They love making it hard and a tense atmosphere. They're like a 6-man for Townsville with just the support that they give. But this is why players love to play Grand Final Series.
And potentially, you know, this is what they play all season for. Game 1, home court advantage, Laurie, could be absolutely critical for Townsville because if Perth win Game 1, going back to Perth, 1 up in this series will feel mighty good.
Yeah, absolutely. And you go, they've been in their bed now for 4 nights, so they're feeling good. Perth have had to travel across, so it'll be really interesting to see who can come out in those first few minutes and dominate.
And after that semi-final series against Bendigo, Beck, Ryan Petrick was really strong about saying, we've got some really banged up bodies. We need the rest. So it feels like it's probably come at the right time for them.
It sure has, and although, yes, they had to travel, they had double the rest time that Townsville did, as well as double the scout time. So it will be so interesting to see, is it a pro or is it a con? The fact that you've had rest, great. Or are you more in rhythm because you've just played? And that's why we're so excited sitting here in studio.
That's the push and pull of a series like this. You've canvassed some opinion from around the competition, Laurie. Is there a consensus on which way this matchup's heading?
So I messaged the 6 coaches that aren't in the finals and tried to get their opinion on who would win and their MVPs. And so the consensus was that 1 didn't answer, but 3 for Perth, 2 for Townsville. MVPs, Wilson, Maley, Woods, Hahn. So, but each of them answered my message with, that's a hard one. Not really sure how it's going to go. So that shows you where everybody's head is at. Who's going to win? Nobody knows.
It feels really evenly poised, this series, Beck.
Oh, it sure does, and both teams have such a core group of vets. For me, there's something about it though. Perth haven't quite got it these last 5 seasons, and I feel like it's their opportunity to finally grab it with 2 hands.
The fire burns for both of them. They've both lost grand final series in recent past. They've been the class of the competition all season long. It is game 1 of the grand final in Townsville. The Fire and the Lynx. It's going to be so much fun. It's on the other side of this.
Ariana Prather here in Townsville, where it is loud. The cowbells are ringing, and everyone is so excited for Championship Series Game 1. I'm joined by Carly Wilson. Carly, what are you expecting out of this matchup?
I just think we're just so lucky to have the teams that finished first and second on the ladder at the end of the regular season. I think we're going to have high energy, high scoring. I think it's going to go down to the wire.
Well, I can already feel the energy from outside the building. Who's going to win tonight? Fire! You heard it from them first. Hit it!
Townsville earns their shot at redemption. They do it the hard way.
Perth Lynx qualifying for the Championship Series in WNBL26.
We're not done yet!
The best 2 teams of this season meet as we crown our WNBL26 champions. There is no longer premiership drought in Australian women's basketball than the 34 years since Perth last claimed a title. Heartache in recent campaigns, they've been beaten grand finalists twice in 4 seasons. Will this be 3rd time lucky under Ryan Petrick? The Fire were champions 3 seasons ago, but last year's grand final hurt is still there for Shannon Seabohm and his players.
The Bendigo Spirit are champions.
New stars have emerged this year. Familiar faces are chasing a first title, and one Townsville star comes up against her old team. They'll each embark on the biggest road trip in the country as they plot their course to being crowned WNBL 2026 champions. That is what's ahead of us in Game 1 of this grand final series. The Townsville Fire, the Perth Lynx, checking in thanks to Minor Hotels in Townsville. What a series it is in prospect. Townsville finished top of the table in the regular season, won through in 3 games against Southside. The Perth Lynx, their opposition, both beaten grand finalists in recent times. Both get the opportunity to add their name to the list of WNBL champions. Wonderful to have you with us wherever you're watching right around the world. This Game 1 of the Grand Final Series in the WNBL. Carly and Ariana courtside. It is going to be great to get their thoughts throughout. Let's get some analysis though. Beck Cole and Laurie Chiswick are at the wall.
Thanks, Joel and Laurie. Offensive transition for both teams will be massive in this grand final series. So I want to have a look at Perth. They are so good when they use their defensive stops to ignite their offensive transition. Annalie Maley is so good at bringing up the ball. The extra pass from Ali Wilson, we know she's going to find Chibber on the floor. And again, they get another stop. These guards, they're athletic, they're long. And as we see here, this offensive transition creates a 2-on-1 opportunity. And as we see Ali Wilson, again, you don't know, is she going to pass or is she going to attack it herself? And on this last clip, this time it's Atwell. And they can go on game-running streaks here with this transition. The shooter, Steph Gorman, we see her run from that wing all the way to the corner. And Alex Chiabatoni, she finds her shooters. So watch out, Perth, when they get going, Laurie.
Well, Beck, I'm going to come right back at you because Townsville, whilst they have a great game in the quarter-court, great ball movement, great player movement, they need to also run the ball and get some easy baskets. So in these next few clips, I want you to watch Alicia Frawling and the way she runs to the point of the rim and what she connects. So if we see here, she is running hard, but it's Alex Fowler that gets it because Frawling attracted the defender. And on the next one, we see here a rebound, an outlet pass, and again, look at Frawling, how smart she is. She gets that seal, allowing Courtney Woods to drive right in, a nice easy layup. And then finally, it is just about speed. We can see Soa sprinting the lane, out-hustling, outrunning everybody to get an easy basket. And I think, Beck, that Townsville certainly need a few of those sorts of baskets.
Great stuff, both. Thank you very much for literally running us through our analysis there at the wall. Let's head inside the Townsville camp. Someone who's been so pivotal with their campaign has been Alex Fowler. She caught up with Ariana a little while ago.
Ariana Prather here with Alex Fowler. Alex, it's going to be physical, and you're going to be inside in the paint. How do you win the physicality battle tonight?
I mean, I think you just said it. It's going to be physical. So regardless, we know it's going to be a physical game. Just coming in and knowing that, sticking to the game scheme of what we had planned and kind of trusting each other and knowing that it'll work out in the end.
It's a 3-game series. How important is it to win game 1?
I think it's very important just for confidence going into it. I think Perth are a great team and they run off confidence too. So that's the scary part for them, is when they're hot, they're hot. So I think for us, we got to shut that down early and hopefully get the win.
Well, good luck. Way to work.
Thank you.
Well, another player that is going to be vital is Alicia Frawling. And in my mind, she was the MVP of the final series against Southside. She averaged 21 points and 8 rebounds the last time these teams met, but she had 26 points in that final game 3. Imagine playing your best career game in a semi-final, do-or-die situation. But she was just so important at both ends of the court, and she is going to be coming up against Han Shu today. So it's going to be physical, and she is going to have to stay out of foul trouble and stay on the court.
She just keeps improving, does Alicia Frawling, over 120 games in the competition now, and just keeps getting better and better with every single one of them. Let's head inside the Perth camp. This high-octane offence, they bring so much to the table, the Perth Lynx. Amy Atwell's a big part of what they do. She caught up with Carly a little while ago.
Well, Amy Atwell, you are striving for your first WNBL championship and the first for the Perth Lynx franchise in over 30 years. What is it going to take to get this win in the all-important game 1 tonight?
Oh, I mean, it's going to take a complete 40-minute effort. I think Townsville have shown all year that they really capitalise on people taking quarters off and stuff like that, and they're a really good team, really well coached. So yeah, it's going to be the team that I think locks into the game plan for the longest time will come out with a win.
Yeah, and there's going to be key matchups all over the floor with so much scoring power on both sides. Which matchups are you most looking forward to tonight?
Probably Frawling and Han. I think everyone's kind of hyped that one up too, but yeah, I'm excited to see how that goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's going to be a cracker. Best of luck tonight, and thanks for your time.
No worries. Thanks, Carly.
But the Han Shu factor. She was a major force in the semi-final win against Bendigo, averaging 18.5 points, 9 rebounds and 2.5 blocks. She's not just a scorer, but a tactical problem. She uses her presence to collapse Townsville's defence, and then when she gets the ball, she's either going one-on-one or she's finding her shooters, because I think Townsville will double team her. And she is a defensive anchor. You said it earlier, JP, and she can stay on the floor for 30-plus minutes. She effectively can shut down the paint and force Townsville into those outside shots.
For opposition coaches, Beck, she's the opposite of Panadol. She'll give you a headache, Han Shu, and she's going to be a big part of this series, of course. Let's soak up some atmosphere courtside. Carly Wilson and Ariana Prater are among it all. Ariana, it is very, very loud in there. Good evening.
It's very loud indeed, Joel. The atmosphere is through the roof, and it's time to find out who's going to throw the first punch in this championship series. What are you most excited for, Harley?
100% this amazing crowd. The Fire Pit is a hard enough place to win during the regular season, and I cannot wait to see just how loud they can get tonight.
It's going to be a big factor in this game. Thank you both very much. Both of these teams going through their final preparations before game 1 in this grand final series. Ariana and Carly giving us a little bit of a boogie as well, which is very nice work. There's that Townsville starting 5. It's been a consistent lineup, and it has delivered consistently throughout the course of this campaign, Laurie.
Well, you'd have to say that Townsville, the word consistent is just part of their DNA. Whether it's the offensive end, the defensive end, everything is really similar. And I looked at, some stats, and they're the best defensive team in the competition this year, and they averaged the exact same amount last year. So again, a picture perfect of consistency.
And their defense has continued to improve across the course of the season. And we know this Perth team, Beck, they were without Han Shu for their first 8 games. They have continued to improve along the season as well. And coming into this, they have won 6 in a row. They are 15-2 with Han Shu in the lineup.
And it shows by those stats. They are an in-form team right now, and they averaged the 83.5 points across the 2 semi-final game series. But what I was impressed about, you said it, they've improved. Defense is a big part. They only allowed 75.5 points when you compare to Townsville's 81 against the Flyers. So defense will definitely be a big key into who can shut down and stick to the scout.
And I think the other key back for me is tempo. Who can control the tempo? Perth obviously want to get out and run, and that's their game style. They like to shoot the threes early. Townsville like to play a little bit more structured basketball. They can get out and run, but they're really about the court-to-court. So it'll be interesting to see who can control the tempo early.
Styles make fights, and this is a very good fight that we've got on our hands in this grand final series. Townsville finished top, 21-5 throughout the course of the home and away in the playoffs. The Lynx won through in 2, took the shortest way here, and now this grand final matchup is set. The Townsville Fire defeated in last season's grand final. The Perth Lynx vanquished the year before that. The Fire and the Lynx are underway in this grand final series in WNBL26. As we see so often, the Lynx get an early look at it. Alex Cipottone is stifled at the rack. 3 times they've met across the course of the season. 2 wins to Townsville among those matchups. Back in round 3 before Hanshu arrived. Round 9 it was Perth by 16. Townsville won their most recent encounter in round 14. Mila Soa is going to be a big part of the narrative. Swapped from Perth to Townsville in the off-season. The team with which she won a championship back in 2018. Atwell stepping back. That won't fall. Rebound to Fowler. Both teams want to get up and running early. So much of these early stages, Beck, is about who can settle. What are the nerves like between these two teams as Abby Ellis misses that one?
Well, you can see that that Townsville settled for a couple of mid-range jump shots rather than driving it all the way to the, the shot blocker in Hanshu.
Cipottone puts it on the floor, drops it off to Maley. That one falls out of the rim. Second chance opportunity is good. And Annalie Maley gets the first points of this grand final series.
And that was great initial defense, but Townsville need to make sure that they clean up the glass. You cannot allow Perth to get second chance points.
Fowler with a foul underneath on Maley for the push. Speaking of things you can't allow, Milisoa's been red hot from distance.
She sure hasn't. She has led the season, averaging the 3 made threes a game, first in the league. And if she can get going early, that will help the Townsville Fire. She's their leading scorer.
Abby Ellis picking up Ali Wilson full court. Milisoa's got the assignment. It's the primary assignment on Amy Atwell. Maley for 3. That one falls off the rim. Froling, who, as we spoke about, was so good in that semi-final series against Southside. Played the best game of her career in that series clinching game 3. Abby Ellis with the little hostage dribble. Can't finish. Does create the havoc on the defensive end, though, and force the turnover.
Great job by Abby Ellis to stay in the moment, to keep playing.
Great pass from Fowler. And Froling, she picks up where she left off in that semi-final series.
And that was great by Fowler to attack the rim, head fake, draw hard so she could pass to Froling.
Hanshu just a little bit too big on that occasion.
I like the fact that they're trying to get Hanshu involved early, get her the ball, get her scoring inside, making her feel comfortable because she is just so crucial to Perth.
She was massive in that game 2 against Bendigo as well. 25 and 14, 4 blocks. She was a +10 in a game decided by 6 points.
And she had something in her eye. I feel like an inner beast came out of Hanshu. And she will be a huge factor in today's game. And we said it, both ends of the floor.
Well, I like how Townsville really aren't taking a backward step. They took a couple of mid-range jump shots, and now they're really looking to attack.
Best three-point shooting in the league across the course of the season. Townsville only took 12 in that game 3 on Sunday against Southside. Shoes 3 goes around and out. Alice picks it up and wants to push the pace. 3 gone in this first quarter of game 1. Courtney Woods snakes her way inside and finishes in that trademark style. So crafty, driving her way to the rim, contrasted with the brute force of Annalie Maley.
So interesting watching these players go head to head and take each other on.
Fowler for three. That one's no good. These two teams have met in the past 3 semi-final series. Chibatoni missing that one. Second chance opportunity, no. And Shannon Seabohm's spoken about Townsville needing to be more diligent, not allowing offensive rebounds from their opposition as Soa drives inside and Shu alters the shot.
I don't think there's been a whistle in about 2 minutes.
It has been played at lightning pace, the start to this game. Wilson on the drive. Beautiful scoop to get that to go.
She's just so crafty. It's hard to stop her when she's going downhill, but her hang time, she can finish with either hand. Wow. And Froling, isn't she just picking right back up where she left off, Laurie?
No fear whatsoever playing against Han Shu.
I feel like Alicia Froling doesn't fear much in life.
Oh, that's true.
The tenacious spirit with which she operates. Amy Atwell gets her first 2 to go. Perth by 2 in the early going here. Game 1 of the grand final series here in Townsville. Game 2 back in Perth.
Wow.
On Sunday. Beautiful no-look pass from Abby Ellis, and Fowler rolls to the hoop strongly.
What a dime that was by Ellis. Coming off the pick and roll, but what was good, she used her shot fake, just that slight bit to bring Han Shu out for that extra pass. That's the playmaking Townsville guards need to be doing.
Chibatoni for 3. That one was wide right the whole way.
I tell you what, if anybody thought these two teams might start in a really nervous way, they certainly aren't. They're looking in control. Both of them, as we see Soa pull up for a nice mid-range jump shot.
Might be two coaches a little bit nervous about their defense at the moment, but they're the only nerves as Ellie Wilson rattles off a line drive triple.
Uh-oh. If she's feeling it early, we know Wilson can get hot in a hurry. Again, what just great matchups we have on the floor tonight. High caliber players with coaches who are chess masters.
Woods no good. Wilson averaged 18-4-4 in the season series. Against the fire as Woods picks that off from Maley. Numbers advantage here for Townsville. 3-on-2 break. Froling takes it all the way.
Coast to coast from the big girl. What a way to go, Alicia Froling.
She was looking at her passing options and went, no, I'm going to go all alone, attack on Shu, and finish it.
When you're in the kind of form Alicia Froling is at the moment, passing shouldn't be in the vocabulary as Woods comes up with the straight rip again and can't lay it home, but Abby Ellis is there to rescue it.
What a high IQ defensive play by Woods there. She picked off the pass from behind. Han Shu wasn't looking. And again, Laurie, you said it earlier, Townsville need those sort of transition possessions.
Shu turnaround, no good. Good defense from Froling on that possession. We're already only got 3.5 minutes left in this opening term. It has flown by the start to this game. Hardly a second to rest for these teams. Fowler from the corner. Abby Ellis upstairs for the rebounds. And Daniel Batty says that'll stay in orange. And everyone in the arena, at home, can just take a moment to breathe.
And if we look at this Amy replay of Courtney Woods just grabbing that ball out of Han Shu's hand, and good follow-up by Abby Ellis to secure that last basket.
Froling comes out of the game. Chantel Horvat checking in for the Fire. Lucy Olsen in there as well for Townsville. And she is fouled, so Olsen will go to the line on her first trip. An interesting bit of psychology at the press conference after that Game 3 in the Townsville Southside series, Lauren. You and I were talking about this off-air earlier. Shannon Seabohm mentioned Lucy Olsen as the X-factor for their team. Now, is he trying to get the best out of her in this series? What did you make of his comments there?
Well, she was a little bit quiet in the Southside series. I mean, she did get the 6th Woman of the Year award, so we know how valuable she is, but I think it was just a little push to say the X factor. We've got confidence in you. You can change the game around. And you know, that's a good ploy.
And you have the likes of Horvat and Olsen coming off the bench, and that's something I think Coach Shannon Seaborn really does well, is he utilises his bench depth. And Townsville runs so deep that they can really lift that defensive intensity for 40 minutes. The starters go off, as we see Morris with a great putback there. Great minutes in for Hanshu already. But if they can get play at a high pace on both ends of the floor, that will be crucial for them. And again, can they get double digits off their bench from scoring? That can really change the game between the two of them.
Well, Beck, I did a bit of deep diving and on just that point, and Perth, 90% of their total scores come from their starters. For Townsville, it's 78%, so they have a little bit more input from their bench. But we see Lucy Olsen pulling up for her trademark jump shot, just didn't quite finish that time.
4 points, 2 of 10, twice this season against Perth. Lucy Olsen in each of their last 2 games. Be a pest defensively, though, and she's exhibiting that here against Ali Wilson, who brushes her aside, gets all the way through. And a foul on the play. Daniel Batty, Bianca Vernon, and Shannon Jennings, our referees this evening. There's Ali Wilson splitting the defence. Of course, a championship winner with this Townsville team back in 2014-15, the first championship that Townsville were able to clinch in the competition. Champions again in 22-23, the Perth Lynx. 34 years since a title has headed out west. So they are trying to break an enormous drought in this grand final series. Joel Peterson, Beck Cole, Laurie Chiswick, Ariana Prather and Carly Wilson with you, as Ali Wilson makes no mistake from the stripe and makes it a 1-point game once more. Just over 2 to go in game 1 of this grand final series. Best of 3. Soa, mid-range, won't fall. And Maley fumbles that one away. She was trying to convince the referee that it wasn't last touched by herself. No, she might have had a case. Soa relocates beyond the arc. Tegan Graham chasing her. And the foul on Graham. She tried to hustle through that Alicia Froling screen.
And we saw on those last 2 possessions, Graham has come in to be a defensive pest on Mila Soa. And she needs to be run off that 3-point line. Graham's done a great job, but unfortunately there, Froling, she had her 2 feet down, setting that screen hard, and she ran straight into her. But good defensive intensity from Graham off the bench.
Both of these teams do bring plenty of defensive weaponry in off the bench as well. Townsville with Olsen and Horvat, and then Perth with Morris, Gorman and Graham. It certainly strengthens that part of their game when they go to their reinforcements. Horvat can't hit there. Maley pulls down the rebound. Number 1 in the competition, 14 rebounds a game. She's had a prodigious season as Annalie Maley, runner-up in the MVP, all WNBL first team, leading rebounder in the competition. That one bounced off her knee. Shu from the free throw line. That won't fall. Horvat's there for the rebound for Townsville. Just over a minute remaining in this opening term. It's been a back and forth affair thus far, just as we'd expect from these 2 teams. Olsen sets the feet for 3. That won't fall. Townsville 0 of 3 from 0 of 4 from outside so far. Perth 1 of 5. Atwell leans into one and draws the foul.
Amy Atwell gets at least one of those every single game where she's shooting the 3 and draws a foul. She is an expert at that.
Of course, 8 teams in the WNBL, give or take 12 players on rosters, so you've got about 96 active players at every time. That's a bad shot for 95 of them. Not for that woman on your television screen right now. She is 1 of 1, Beck Cole.
Well, sorry, Beck. She takes almost 7 attempts per game, leads the league in that. So she is pretty proficient at the 3. She hasn't shot the ball particularly well this season, but she's certainly not afraid to put them up.
And in 2024, JP, she hit 9 threes in one game. And I remember it because it was against us. And then I had to lock her down the following game. But you said it, Laurie, her percentage hasn't been amazing this season, but she has a shooter's mentality. And all it takes is one game, 1 3 to drop, and it changes the ball game for Perth as well.
Horvat operating inside here. Draws the foul, trying to break a 7-0 Perth run off the back of a 6-0 Townsville run. So the latter part of this term has been punctuated by scoring streaks for each of these teams. Here's Hanshu, who's been such a big addition to this Perth team. Chantal Horvat off to the free throw line. Of course, injury replacement for Saffron Shields, who Townsville haven't seen throughout the course of this season, but she has been a more than adept replacement, averaging just under 7 points, or under 8 points a game, 4 rebounds, some really good defense as well. 67% at the free throw line across the campaign. This to tie it up at 20. Half a minute to play in this opening term. Just as you'd expect, the 2 best teams all season, there's nothing in it as Chibatoni waltzes her way to the rack.
Chiba just did a great job there of just looking at the defense, seeing what they were going to give her, kept the ball in her hands, and then exploded in for the shot.
She'll be happy to see that one drop. She had a couple that rimmed in and out. Just to see one go down in a grand final, it sort of just calms you down.
Alice winding time off the clock. Horvat for 3. That won't fall. Rebound to Maley. And on the road in game 1 of the grand final series, it's Perth who has the early advantage. But it is nip and tuck at the start of this one. The Lynx by 2 here at quarter time. All important to get off to a good start. The locals are fired up for game 1 of this grand final series. Perth 22 to Townsville 20 at quarter time.
Welcome back to the Townsville Entertainment Center, where the Perth Lynx are on top by by 2. I was listening into the Fire timeout during that last break, and Coach Shannon was telling his team, just continue getting what they give you. Don't overthink the shots. If it's open, take the open shot. But before I get to you, Carly, I have to say happy game 270 to you, Lori. I didn't get that in the broadcast yet. Carly, what do you see from Perth?
Coach Ryan was very focused on their defensive schemes on on-ball screens. He said we must go over on Sauer. They also talked about defensive transition, making sure they get better spacing. Back to you, Joel.
Thank you, Carly. Thank you, Ariana. Tied at 22 after that Courtney Woods bucket to open us up here in this second term. Joel Peterson and Beck Cole with you alongside Laurie Chiswick, who it would be remiss of us not to mention. 17th Grand Final series, Laurie.
Oof. Part of the furniture in this commentary team here. It's a privilege to call it, and none more so than this game, this grand final against two very, very competitive teams.
It's a privilege to be operating in your company. Great to have you with us wherever you're watching this game one of the grand final series. Townsville and Perth separated by 2 points at quarter time. Fire have leveled it up early here in the second. Woods has played every second of the game so far, as has this woman, Annalie Maley, who is so valuable to this team with her ability to essentially play as another guard, bringing the ball up. Atwell trying to work with the screen from Shu. Abby Ellis wheels away in disbelief after the call.
She is a guard who will always be up and in defending, not giving her opponent any space, and she plays with so much passion and aggression, and she's the head of the snake, I think, when it comes to defense and getting her team going.
Shu with a loose dribble, keeps a hold of it. Maley to bail them out. Shot clock about to expire. Great box out from Ellis to secure the rebound. Fire up and moving in transition. Froling bangs bodies with Shu, can't hit. Good defense again from Han Shu.
Defense! Defense!
Crunching screen from Chipatoni.
Defense! Defense!
Wilson tried to get rid of Woods. Offensive foul.
And you see here early, Alicia Froling up and in on Hahn, making it hard for her to kick on the ball, and Woods just being up and in on Wilson, creating that offensive foul. Laurie, I think Townsville have done a really good job so far in this game of getting up in the space of Perth and making them rush a little bit more than I think they normally have.
Well, they're being disruptive, and they're slowing the ball down so that Perth have to perform in the quarter court, and then to be up and in and forcing, you know, them to make some tough decisions out there. They've done a good job.
Looked like there was a lot of nerves among that Townsville bench, having a little bit of a boogie on the sideline. Courtney Woods works her way through, and that's going to be an offensive foul this time on the Fire.
And that's good defense. And we heard Ariana say she was listening in on the timeout, and locking down the perimeter for Townsville is crucial. You have Soa and Woods, who they're primary engines, and Perth need to run Soa off the three-point line, and we see Maley with a great cut and finish there. You need to make her threes contested. They've done a great job of that so far. And then Woods, you can't allow her play-making ability. So you need to make it hard for this Townsville Fire offense.
Froling, Horvat in the corner, puts it on the floor. Wanted to offload it, couldn't find an option, and that is rebound number 8 for Annalie Maley already.
Well, you could see both her and Han Shu were sagging off in the paint on Horvat and Froling, just clogging it up in there, not giving them many options.
Pass inside from Chipatoni. Atwell can't get it to go. What about the rebound from Han Shu? Only one hand required, and this second offensive rebound opportunity.
She deserves those points. She just grabbed that with one hand, palmed it in. How impressive.
Well, that's only her 4th point. I still think they need to get her a little bit more involved.
Townsville can't come up with it on their end of the floor. Scored the opening bucket of this quarter. It's dried up for them since then. Townsville by 4. With a little push shot there, won't fall. As much as any shot from someone who's 6'11" could be described as little. Wilson, Chipatoni, Shu, Maley and Atwell on the floor for Perth. Alice Woods, Froling, Horvat and Soa. Woods from the mid-range. It'll fall back to her, gets another look and cashes it.
There has not been much between these two teams at all so far this game.
Now on the play, as we said, pre-game there. Matchups across the course of the season. Townsville won by 6 and by 9. Perth won by 16 in the only game that they won. So the season series in terms of total points, +1 to Perth. Still illustrates how nip and tuck it's been between these two teams all season. It is at the moment Perth 26, Townsville 24. Paywise timeout, 6:03 left in the second. So Perth holding the advantage that they had at quarter time. Only the 4 points for each of these teams so far in this second term. Not shooting it at particularly high clips from the field, either of them. 37% for the host, 38% for the visitors. No three-pointers yet for Townsville either, Beck, and Perth have only hit 1 in that category.
And you said it right there. The field goal percentage is down because the three-point percentage is down. 0% for Townsville Fire, 13% for the Perth Lynx. Their 2 points is no problem. They are great. So what team can turn it around? And I think that's a big key. We spoke about it earlier, is rebounding as well as this three-point percentage. Who can get going? Because we know that can really force a lead.
Could be a big deciding factor in this game, no doubt about that. Just under 4 minutes played here in this second term. Game 1 of the Grand Final Series in WNBL 26. And it is Perth who lead it by 2, 26-24. Joel Peterson, Laurie Chiswick and Beck Cole with you in commentary. Great to have you with us for Game 1 in this series. Steph Gorman checking in and making an instant impact.
Well, that's what you do when you say, sub-coach, I'm ready. You come in and you shoot the shot. But if you look at the scoring for both teams, nobody is standing out. The highest scorer right now is Wilson with 8 points. So it's really a team effort for both of them.
Doing it by committee in the early part. Take a look there at Steph Gorman hitting a 3. A chance for Mila Soa to go to the free throw line. Gives us a chance to check in with Ariana Prather. Ariana, what did you hear at that last time out?
Coach Shannon Seabum was just drawing up some plays for his team, so not much out of the huddle, but I do have a question for you guys. How impressive is it that all of Townsville, or a majority of Townsville Fire's points have come inside the paint? Coming into this ball game, I don't think anyone would have expected a bulk of their scoring would have come from inside the three-point line.
Well, that is what makes it so impressive, is if the three-point shot isn't dropping for you, you have to find other avenues. And what's been great is they've been getting inside the key, finding their own shots or dishing off to their big. So it's been a great team basketball right now.
Yeah, they dominated that area of the game against Southside in Game 3. Fowler's 3-ball was offline. Well, got flattened by the screen on that last play. They scored 50 points in the paint in Game 3 against Southside. As Amy Atwell in rhythm.
She still had a hand in her face, Laurie.
She did, and that's the shooter that she is. She sees that one. If we look on the Amy replay here, I mean, that was tough. She had very little space, very little time. Olsen's hand was right there, but that is what she can do. That's what she can bring.
That is borderline rude from Amy Atwell.
If you're a Fire fan, make some noise!
She is a shot maker, right up there with the best of them this country has to offer. The Perth native. We heard her in our pre-game speaking about what it would mean to her to win a championship. She's pivotal to this Perth push as Alicia Froling muscles her way inside, finishes with one to come.
And what poise. She got the ball, 2 feet, had a pump fake, as we see here, just got Morris with her body, but again, she finished the play, and that's the difference for me in Froling earlier on in the season to now, is she's finishing and executing those layups inside.
Free throw misses, but Townsville get the offensive rebound opportunity. Soa with the little head fake, drives all the way inside. She gets the whistle as well.
Neither team had gone to the foul line very much at quarter time. Townsville 4 for 4, Perth 5 from 5. So it's good to see that's a strategy now, perhaps with Honshu off. They are looking at attacking a little bit more, although they do have Morris to go to.
The biggest WNBL season of all time comes down to this championship series. You can scan that QR code now. Get the WNBL app in the palm of your hand in your app store. Live scores, stats, highlights, video content, exclusive player stories, so much more. The best way to follow along with this championship series for your second screen by the WNBL app. Perth 32, Townsville 30. Atwell pulls the trigger again. Not that time. And that will, well, for a moment, go back with Townsville. Referees want to talk about it.
Well, offensive rebounding and blocking out are crucial for both teams. Any second chance opportunities really become important.
Daniel Batty, our crew chief, overruling the call, and the locals not best pleased with that decision. They do provide a tremendous energy, this crowd. Now an offensive foul. That'll get them up and going. And Townsville will get the ball back. Some reinforcements coming in here for Perth. Yeah, that's got the locals up and going all right. Matching haircuts as well, sort of.
And I'm sure the town is painted orange. I've been there and you know about it. The Townsville Fire playing at the fire pit.
So how difficult a place is it to play, Beck, as a visiting team, as Alex Fowler rattles that one home to tie the scores?
It's hard. Fire 1 is so hard to beat at home, although this season it has happened to them a few times. But I said it earlier, it's the atmosphere and the energy and support that their fans bring that makes it really hard. You can hardly hear on the court what plays are being called, maybe what your coach is saying, so you really need to be locked in and switched on.
3 losses at home on the campaign for the Townsville Fire. Fowler driving inside. That's going to stay with the hosts. 3:37 to go here in this second term.
That's where you need hand signals, Beck.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't hear. Use the hand signals.
Lead us in alongside WNBL Coach of the Year, Laurie Chiswick, and two-time champion Beck Cole, as Soa steps her way through and hands the hosts back the lead. And Ryan Petrick wants to stop this 8-0 run that Townsville's on to make it 34-32. Takes the opportunity for the Paywise timeout as we get into the business end of this second quarter. Still no three-pointers for Townsville in this game so far. 0 of 6. 41% from the field, the Fire, 39% for the Lynx. Both teams shooting it well from the free throw line, and not too many turnovers would be at least keeping both coaches happy. And this, Mila Soa, showing her vast array of moves, Beck Cole.
Oh, she is just so crafty around the rim, and we see there the fan is happy with Mila Soa's work. But what's so impressive is we just saw up there on the stats how many players are involved. These were 2 teams that we said do it by committee. 5 players average double figures from Townsville, and then Perth have 6 players who average double digits. So it just shows you shut down one person, the next woman, they're standing up.
And a big strength of them all season, these 2 teams, while they've been right at the pointy end. Enviable depth that they possess, as well as outstanding frontline talent.
I expect Soa to come alive soon. Maybe at least, you know, when they played each other in the 3 games, she averaged 22 points compared to her 17 points in the season. And she's somebody that, you know, as soon as she sees her eye in, like Atwell, you know, she can really change a game.
So Townsville by 2 off the back of this 8-0 run. Gorman, Wilson, Graham, Shue and Maley, the lineup for Ryan Petrick at the moment.
Thank goodness Shue backed her down, because that was a big mismatch on there, and I thought maybe she was just going to pass it or get rid of it.
Olsen now trying to make her move. Off to Soa. Froling establishes herself underneath, and Shue asserts her dominance. Maley back the other way. Wilson now looking for a seam. Can't push that one home, but follows her miss and gets it to go.
And just what a putback. And you said it before, Laurie, rebounding. It's not just about the first rebound, but it's about preventing their putback points. And if Townsville can break even on the rebounding count, they take away Perth's biggest and greatest source of extra possessions.
Olsen, shot clock winding down. 3 ball won't fall. There's a foul on the play. Ellie Wilson pulls up a little bit sore. Ball will stay with Townsville, and that'll be shots with Perth in the bonus.
Sorry, Joel, the work rate of Froling is just to go after the boards, to take it out on Shue, whatever, you know exactly what you're going to get from her.
So Alicia Froling at the line. 2 minutes to play here in this second term. Let's check in courtside with what Ariana and Carly are hearing.
Hey guys, you saw it on camera during that last timeout. Coach Shannon was just drawing up more plays for his team. Everybody wants to lead at halftime. I feel like that is absolutely critical in a game like this. Momentum is everything. So just a couple plays drawn up from Coach Seabum. What did you see, Carly?
Similar timeout in Perth, actually. Very strategic with some plays being drawn out, but you will not be surprised to hear that Annalie Maley spoke up and said, guys, we have got to lock down on our blocking out. We have to clean up the boards. No more O-boards for Townsville.
Thanks, Ari. Thanks, Carly. Here's a look for Alex Chibba. Tony! Big 3 from Chibba.
Cool, calm, collected Chibba.
Well, I'd be going, thanks, Maley. Thanks for that O-board and kicking it out to me.
So off the back of an 8-0 Townsville run, it's a 7-0 Perth burst. Woods back the other way. Gets that to go.
What a fun game this is to watch. Both just such great displays of basketball and different things, different looks out there, different matchups, inside, outside.
Wilson, Shue, straight away triple, won't fall. Rebound to Alicia Froling. She's got 8 points in the game. Woods has got a game high 10. Wilson 9. Woods gets all the way underneath. Pulls it back out, the Townsville captain. Now to the free throw line. A little bit strong on the jumper. And this will stay with Townsville. Less than a minute to play in this first half.
I'll be interested back to see if Ryan Petrick pulls out his 1-3-1 zone that he's been very effective at.
No team is led by more than 6.
Massive 3. You hear the crowd roaring. That is a big 3. We just spoke about momentum. If they can get a stop here, get one more shot down there.
Atwell and I raise you. Timeout Townsville. Amy Atwell doing what Amy Atwell does best. 42-39. Perth up by 3. 31.5 seconds left in this one. Shannon Seabohm wants to issue some instructions to his team on the offensive end. And now if Soa and Atwell get going, the complexion of this game for both of these defenses changes entirely.
Oh, it sure does. It stretches the defense. And you see Chibba is on Soa like a glove. She has to work so hard. But for Miller to get that one to drop now, and then on the other end, Atwell with a nasty step back. She's hit a couple now, and we said it. She's finals Atwell. She steps up when it's time.
Well, that three-point shot from Soa was the first made three for Townsville.
So psychologically, Laurie, just to see one going into halftime and not have to go into halftime and look at the box score and see 0 of 7 on the box score, that would just give them that little bit of a boost.
Well, it certainly does. And once you see that first one go in, and then it sort of becomes a bit contagious. And as soon as you start making shots from the three, you stretch out the defense because you have to come out and guard that now, which right now they haven't had to as much because they're not hitting their shots.
All important pay-wise timeout. Let's check in courtside with Ariana and Carly.
What I'm excited to see who's going to have the lead at halftime. Can Townsville knock down this three? Mila Sowell! It's tied going into halftime. Carly, do you have anything?
This crowd is so loud that Perth needs to have a big play here to get this momentum back going into the second half.
Graham for three. Hagan Graham walks them off to half-time. And these two high-powered, high-octane teams trading high-quality baskets to get us to the main break. 45-42. The road team on top at the end of the half. And what a way to close out this first 20 minutes of basketball.
Oh, and we were asking for some three-point shots. They heard us and they've delivered, but Soa to get that in front of her home crowd was amazing, but it kills you, doesn't it, Laurie, when you see Graham?
So 45-42, Perth on top of Townsville. Let's get to Carly, who's with Annalie Maley.
Finally, great start from you guys and your team. How are you seeing it out there? What's working for you?
I think we need to move the ball a little bit more, get the ball inside to Han. They're doing a great job on the boards, keep them off that, but so far we're doing okay. Yeah.
Well, great job in the first half. Best of luck in the second. Thank you. Now let's hear from Alicia Froling, who's standing by with Ariana.
Alicia, we knew coming into this game that physicality was going to be big. How do you feel like that first half went?
Yeah, pretty good. I think we did an okay job of keeping them off the boards, but still got to clean that up. And I think we just have to be a bit more aggressive on offense.
Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
You heard that from Alicia Froling. We got a game here in Townsville. The team will break it all down after this quick break.
That's just so style.
Well, just as we'd expect, a high-quality first half to game one in this grand final series. Highlights left, right and centre. And the two best teams in the competition showing us all their wares in this opening half. The locals are fired up, but it is Perth who lead by 3 at half-time. Joel Peterson, Beck Cole and Laurie Chiswick. There are our half-time match stats. Not a great shooting night, particularly from outside for either team just yet, Beck, but the end of that first half, we saw things start to heat up a little bit.
We sure did, and we know it can take a couple of these teams a little bit to get going. But they're great players. We know it was going to happen sometime. Momentum swung left and right. You said it, great quality players. Who knows what's going to happen in this second half?
Well, they did a great job, too, of taking care of the basketball. Both teams, only 3 and 4 turnovers, and that's really important when you look at a high-quality game and the number of shots that you're getting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a real feature of the game. There was really very few turnovers, especially in that second quarter where they both looked after the ball really well, as you mentioned, Laurie. And 2 of 9, both of those Townsville threes came on their 2 last possessions as well to Mulisoa. Perth's 6 three-pointers in that first half. So it has not been a game that has been dominated by the perimeter in the way that we thought it might be, Beck.
No, it hasn't. And both teams, though, are shooting a great percentage from the two-point field. Townsville, 47% and 48% for the Perth Lynx. But what's been impressive is the foul count. 8 of 11 for Townsville. They're getting it inside.
Indeed. There's our Blackmores head-to-head. Alicia Froling was so big in that semi-final series. Only the 1 rebound, which is interesting for her so far. And Annalise Maley just doing Annalise Maley things with 6 and 9. She is... Her appetite for rebounds is voracious, Laurie Chiswick, and she's not slowing down at the moment.
Well, I love in this Blackmore head-to-head, the 2 players that we've got, Froling and Maley, because their work rate, both of them, is so high at both ends of the court. They're physical, they're battling each other. Maley, 9 rebounds, that's amazing. Froling doing a great job on Han's shoe, so really good battle between those players.
Midway through that second quarter, and this is why you've called 17 grand final series, Laurie Chiswick, you said, gee, it'd be interesting if Mulisoa could heat up in this game. Lo and behold, at the end of the quarter, she hits a couple of big threes. She is the leading scorer in this game with 14 points and really might hold the key to opening up this Townsville offense.
Well, she isn't. I mean, she's, you know, might have a little bit of extra spurt in her steps playing against Perth, but she's done well against them before, and we know in game 2 of the semi-final against Southside, she had some really big numbers, so she is a big-time player and is ready to go.
Yeah, she's enjoyed playing against Perth this season, Mulisoa. There's her forward shot charts, and a couple from outside, both of them coming late in that term. The only 2 threes that Townsville have made in this first half. So they have a 3-point deficit as we turn on the other side of halftime. So much colour and life in the building, which is great to see. A massive second half coming up. Game 1 in the grand final series. Townsville trying to overturn a 3-point deficit as we head to the second half.
And I love it. Why so warm up in my zone, touching the sky, feeling the flow, and I love it. And I love it.
Big games bring out big names, and I'm here with the Premier of Queensland, David Crisafulli. What an amazing first half. How great is this atmosphere? Over 4,000 people for game one of this championship series.
Absolutely amazing. The quality of the game, forget the score, the quality of the game is outrageously good. And you put 4,000 North Queenslanders in a room, you're going to get atmosphere like this every day of the week.
And you're going to hear lots and lots of cowbells. How exciting of a series is this going to be with the quality of play that we're seeing?
It's amazing. I was here for the first game in 2001 when the Fire came into the league. To see their evolution is amazing. And to go from the humble beginnings playing at Murray to here now and to see this many people, they have become an amazing club. To be that successful over a decade, it's just a testament to the quality and the culture that they've built. So, no, it's amazing, and go you good thing.
Absolutely. The culture is strong and a bit of nostalgia for you. Thank you for joining me, and have fun during the second half.
They'll get it done. Let's go.
Joel, back to you.
Thanks, Ariana, and thanks to the Queensland Premier, David Crisafulli, as well. He's a big sports fan. Great to see him in the house. Let's get the Perth side of things. Carly Wilson, you've been keeping an ear in Ryan Petrick's huddle throughout this one. We'll get back to Carly in a moment. Very, very loud in the venue this evening. 45-42. And these home fans will be cheering their team on all the way. Joel Peterson, Vic Cole, Laurie Chiswick with you in commentary. We have had 11 ties and 8 lead changes in the first half. Ellie Wilson to start us off with a 3. That's a bit strong. And when even Annalie Maley can't scurry after a rebound, you know the ball's travelling. 9 boards so far in this one for Maley. Milasoa leads all scorers with 14. Woods has got 10. Atwell, the lone Perth player, in double figures so far. Townsville beaten in the grand final last year. Perth beaten in the grand final the year before that. These two teams trying to get to the top of the mountain as Abby Ellis starts us off with a bucket here in this second half. Just her second make of the game. Hanshu a bit too big and strong at the other end.
Oh, I'm so glad for Hanshu and for Perth that they got her the ball. She's only taken 7 shots in that first half, and as I said, we see her fouling there, Courtney Woods, but she needs to be more involved. She's such a crucial part. They need her to catch the ball low and to be able to finish strongly.
And that's what we heard from Annalie Maley at half-time as well, is that, you know, they need to get her the ball in better positions.
They really do. You can't stop her. She's 6'11" when she gets deep seals inside, as well as incredible touch. But something that's improved from the day she got here to where we are right now is the passing out of the post. When she draws attention down there, now she can kick it out and find her 3-point shooters. But then it's a credit to Townsville. They've been pushing Hahn outside of the key and making her life tough.
Maley wide open for 3, blanks that one. Alice with a full court pass, just eluded the grasp of Fowler. Soa off to Fowler, off to Froling, gets the hometown roll, 9th lead change of the game.
And this is what Townsville have really improved on, is getting 2 feet in the paint, not being scared of shoot, using pass fakes, finding their other teammates, and now they're getting stops at the other end.
Good defense on Maley. The Fire are up and running. Abby Ellis goes behind the back, almost loses it. They are invigorated to start this second term, the Townsville Fire. Woods across the lane. Flips it out to Fowler. 4 on the shot clock. Soa, so good in this situation. Can't hit there. Fowler puts it back up and in.
She's always right where you need her to be, Laurie. Fowler is so good, and again, just another second chance opportunity. They're beating Perth right now with 10 offensive rebounds to 8.
Atwell all the way through, got fouled. 8-2 run to start this second half for the Townsville Fire.
Blocking
foul on Alicia Froling, her first personal of the game, and Amy Atwell will head to the free throw line, and she is firmly in the Milasoa category of someone you don't want to see at the stripe.
85%, Joel. We were looking across the desk at each other. We know that she can score these. Ooh.
That's why
I'm putting it on you.
Yeah, that's why I didn't mention the stat. The person who utters the stat into existence is responsible for everything that happens from there as Atwell makes the second. Highly reliable in that facet of the game across her career, Amy Atwell, Perth native, trying to win her first WNBL championship.
You just look at Han Shu sagging off of Frawling there, being a rim protector.
Woods, the longest of twos, won't fall. Oh, Frawling and Atwell getting up close and personal. They go bashing and crashing into one another. And that's the uncompromising intensity this game's being played with.
And it is, it's hustle plays like that can really make a difference in games when it is so close on the scoreboard. Extra possessions, putting your body on the line. This is a grand final, and this is what players have been wanting all season. They have to leave everything out there.
And both coaches talked about offensive rebounding, how important it was to make sure they're blocking out and at the same time getting O-boards themselves. So that was somewhere where they were both trying to go after that ball.
Townsville by 2. They trailed by 2 at half, or 3 at half time. Shu with another block there. She hasn't been blocking shots, she's been changing them, not only tonight but all season long. Han Shu, what a massive recruit she's been for the WNBL this season. Atwell from the free throw line can't hit. Maley with her 10th rebound of the game. Straight back out to Amy Atwell. Now pulling it down, Schippertoni, and she can't hit either. Nice defense from Alicia Froling.
And the Fire definitely got lucky on that occasion with another melee rebound, and Atwell putting up another 3.
Couple of gilt-edged chances there going begging for the Lynx. Ellis across the lane, scoops it home with the left hand.
Just crafty, and Ellis has been really good off the pick and rolls, being really patient, deciding, do I shoot it myself or do I find my teammate on the roll?
Woohoo! Amy Atwell. Right.
Filling it up in the way that she knows best. 3 of 5 from outside now, Amy Atwell. She's got 15 points in the game. Woods at the other end. She's got 14.
And you can see Courtney Woods looking to attack off the dribble. Amy Atwell, see if she's got that lateral speed to contain her, and then if they're in drops, then she pulled up jump shot.
Atwell will get another look. Got Sower up in the air, steps back, wide left all the way.
We've seen in these last few possessions, Han Shu is getting the ball on the elbow. She needs to get lower, deeper.
I agree, Beck.
Now Sower at the other end trying to take advantage of Atwell, who's called for the reach. Second foul on Amy Atwell.
Blocking foul for number 25, Amy Atwell, the third.
Make it a third, in fact. Saw the immediate applause there from Abby Ellis, so that at least gives Ryan Petrick something to think about.
Fire up Townsville, fire up!
And Atwell will indeed come out of the game. Tegan Graham subbing in as Perth go to their defensive subs of Graham and Morris.
Look at the patience of Townsville right now.
Courtney Woods guarding them, or guiding them so calmly through the offense. Fowler trying to chase down her own miss. Maley was fouled in her attempted rebounds.
And you see Allie Wilson on screen right now, and she is somebody that is a big-time, big-game player. And she can all of a sudden go, okay, I need to get things happening out here. Get the ball in my hands.
Could be takeover time at any tick of the clock for Allie Wilson. Nearly halfway gone here in this third term. Maley from outside gets the friendly roll. Ties things up, Annalie Maley with a three-pointer. Her first make out there of the evening. There was a foul on the rebound as well. Here's the Maley three, and she had all evening to look at it and watch it get a very friendly roll. And then keep your eyes at the bottom of the screen here. There's bodies going everywhere. There were like 10 pins in orange in the paint. referees just discussing what the outcome of the play will be. Should be a Townsville ball after the basket. Joel Peterson, Beck Cole, Laurie Chiswick, Ariana Prather and Carly Wilson with you. Game 1 of this grand final series. Game 2 on Sunday. Game 3, if required, back here on Wednesday. 54 apiece, halfway gone in this third term. Gives us an opportunity to check in courtside with Ariana and Carly and get their thoughts on the game. Ariana, the atmosphere is still loud, but this is a very high-quality contest.
Guys, the atmosphere is absolutely incredible, but what I'm most impressed with is just how both teams are handling the level of physicality. You saw during that last play a little bit of chatter afterwards from each player, but that's been going on all night long. So I think two things is going to determine this ball game. One, who's able to handle that physicality and still score and still push through, and number two, who's going to win the defense battle. Both teams are definitely giving it their all on the defensive end. Those are my two keys for who wins this. Carly?
I'm just so impressed at the scoring ability of both teams. Traditionally, we see grand finals to be quite defensively focused. 2 big points there from Sauer. Quite defensively focused, and they can turn into quite a slow grind. A lot of the time, we have quite low-scoring grand finals, but that is not the case tonight, and it just really is a reflection of just how skilled these two teams are.
It's a really good call, Carly. I mean, you only have to cast your mind back to last season, Laurie, and that grand final series that we saw between Bendigo and Townsville last season. So game 1 in that grand final series last year, Bendigo wins 70-60. Townsville had all kinds of offensive problems in this series. They scored 55 points in game 2. They've already got 56 on the board. So they could, here in this third term, have more points in 3 quarters than they did in any of their grand final games last season.
Well, and I think that's where Coach Shannon Seabohm analyzed that after that grand final loss and went, okay, what pieces of the puzzle do we need to add so that doesn't happen again? And hence brought in players like Soa, Olsen, that can shoot the ball, bring up some scores. We see that Soa has 16 points, leading all scorers at the moment. And so he's certainly recruited with that in mind.
Really struggled to shoot from outside, especially in that game 2. 3 of 24 from the field in that second game of their grand final series last year. Courtney Woods, that's a layup as she gets to the free throw line. Townsville push that lead out to 8. That's the biggest lead that either team has had in the game at 7, 58-51. Gorman from way downtown. That one's no good. Just on the Annalise Maley 3 earlier, it was waved away. So when the foul was on the rebounding battle and Maley's 3 was in the air, that has been waved away in the aftermath. So that's why Perth's score was taken from 54 to 51. Maley now with the interception, takes it all the way and fouled by Horvat. Such a unique force to be able to do that kind of thing, Beck Cole.
It sure is, and I've been quite impressed. We haven't been able to see Perth get their usual fast break opportunities. They normally dictate the pace, and it's good to see Maley get going there downhill.
Of course, our WNBL Championship Series is on. The Townsville Fire, the Perth Lynx, all playing for the big prize at the end of it. Make sure you're following the WNBL on social media for highlights, behind-the-scenes content, and all the colour from around this grand final series at WNBL on all your platforms. Maley is able to knock the free throw down, splits the pair, 58-52. That lead was at a game-high 7 for Townsville. Woods, Olsen, Horvat, Soa, and Froling out there for the Fire. Beautiful feed from Woods to find Froling all alone and gets a very friendly bounce.
Well, I think after that made foul shot that, oh, what a steal by Courtney Woods. Just the anticipation and the finish.
And Courtney Woods is fired up. So is this massive Townsville crowd. Paywise timeout for Ryan Petrick. And the Fire have got the first double-figure break of the game. 62-52, 2:20 left in the third. And this is a significant moment in this game. 62-52. Ryan Petrick, it is a critical juncture to instill something into his team.
It sure is, and we spoke about a momentum change. And when is it going to happen? When will there be a double-digit figure lead? Right now it's 10 points. Great timeout by Perth. Townsville, they've just really shown up and shown out in this third quarter, but what a steal from Woods, and she double fist pump with passion.
Well, and Shannon Seabone, he mentioned about being disciplined in key moments. So either to hold on to a lead, to extend it. Don't take the foot off. Now, you've all of a sudden got a 10-point lead with 2:20 to go. It's really crucial that you stay with the program.
10 points, Townsville lead off the back of the play from Courtney Woods, setting things up on the Amy replay to Alicia Froling, and then able to create the chaos. That pushes this margin out to double figures. So important in so many facets of the game. And the reaction from the Townsville captain, leading by example in game one of this grand final series. Joel Peterson, Beck Cole, and Laurie Chiswick with you. First time out of this second half used by Ryan Petrick there to try and get his side going. 62-52. Allie Wilson from straight away. That's an important one.
And we saw that play was drawn up to get Han Shu in the low block, get her a touch. And you called it, Laurie. Allie Wilson, she can take her team on her shoulders and really light it up when she needs to.
I like though how they got it inside to Hanshu deep, forced both defenders to collapse to lead her wide open. As you said, Hanshu's a good passer, but there's a great perseverance by Townsville.
Terrific stuff from Soa. Easy points for Horvat off the offensive rebounds.
We've seen it the last couple of possessions, Laurie. I think they've gone back into that 1-3-1 zone, but Townsville have been able to beat it. They've kept calm. So it'll be interesting to see, do they stick in that zone or do they go back to man?
A little bit of another turn in the chess game. 64-55, minute 20 remaining. Let's check in courtside with Ariana and Carly with the messages out of that last huddle.
The Townsville Fire. Abby Ellis during that last timeout, though she's not in the game, went around and slapped the knee of every single one of her teammates and said, "Let's go," and clapped her hands, got them fired up. That's the energy that they're feeling now with the lead, the biggest lead of the game over Perth. The key is going to be not letting Perth get that momentum back. Carly?
Quite similarly, actually, the Perth timeout was led by their veteran, Chia Bertoni, who stepped up and said, "Guys, let's just take a breath here. This crowd is so loud. We have to block them out. This is 10 points. This is nothing." She said, "Joel, we've got this."
Yeah, they've got the confidence. They've certainly got the ability, Carly. Thank you. Good to have Carly and Ariana patrolling the sidelines for us this evening. 9-point Townsville lead. Offensive foul from Horvat at one end. Shu misses at the other. Gang rebounding effort from Townsville there. Under a minute to play in this third term. A quarter in which Townsville have pushed it out wide. Perth have only scored 10 points in the quarter thus far. Townsville adding 22 as Woods comes down the lane. Tried to offload it to Horvat. Last touch by a Perth hand. 8 seconds on the shot clock here for the Fire to operate.
Both teams have done a great job at foul discipline. Nobody's in foul trouble. That hasn't impacted rotations off the bench, coaches having to make decisions in matchups. So they've done a good job with the discipline.
Horvat, Soa, Woods, Froling and Olsen here to close this quarter. Soa curling into the free throw line. Can't hit, but Alicia Froling with an important rebound. Best offensive rebounder in the competition throughout the course of the season. And Woods rattles in the 2-point make. 11-point Townsville lead.
Her jump shot is money. If they're going to continue to go over on a screen and hard shoe being drops, Woods, shoot that every day of the week.
Allie Wilson almost lost it back to half court. in the corner now. An opportunity for Gorman, can't hit. And a dominating turn from the Townsville Fire to absolutely wrestle control of this ball game in their direction. They lead it by 11 with a quarter to play in game 1 of this grand final series. The hosts on top, so much of it thanks to Courtney Woods. Perth trying to overturn an 11-point gap as we head to three-quarter time.
It's time for fourth quarter action here at the Townsville Entertainment Center. I was listening in to the Fire huddle during that last break, and Coach Shannon just pointed to his head. He said it's all mental. Do not lose your focus during this last quarter. Keep the pace, keep the momentum going, and we'll be in good shape. Carly, what did Perth have to say?
Well, Coach Ryan was very calm, and he said, guys, we've just got to stay with this now. Do the little things, find the body, make sure that we stay focused and don't lose it here. But I will say it's a cliche we've been waiting all season to say, but that third quarter is the championship quarter. Have the Townsville Fire just shown us why they have moved into favourites, having played so well in that third quarter.
They did all they could in that third term, Carly. Absolutely. Lasoa there. Takes the foul from Annalie Mailing.
We spoke about offense. Townsville got 24 points, but it was their defense only allowed Perth to 10 points in that quarter.
Great start to the last quarter from Fowler, and she gets the reverse to go. It's been the big improvement in their game throughout the course of the season. We know they're a great shooting team, but that team defense, their connection on that end of the floor has just continued to build over time. And now it's got this Perth Lynx team rattled. 5 turnovers in the game for Townsville. They've cherished their possession. Perth a little bit wasteful, even though they've only got 7 in the game. Gorman pokes that one away from Woods, who was really the fire starter in that third term. Shu with a solid roll in the finish.
Almost thought she was about to dunk that, Laurie. The seas parted.
Woods now working inside the paint. Went up and down, had a hand on it in the middle. Townsville keep possession. 9 on the shot clock now for Abby Ellis. Into a 3-ball. Fowler with the O-board. And give it away. Shannon Seaborn just scratches the head as he watched that ball bounce helplessly over the timeline.
Well, Townsville are first in three-point shooting percentage, 38%. Yet they're still ahead, and they've only made 2 this game, 18%. So they have changed their game plan to fit the circumstances.
They have only attempted 12,
Yeah.
Laurie. They only attempted 12 in their last game against Southside as well. It's been a different offensive focus for this Townsville team, and their defensive focus is unrelenting. They force the shot clock violation. That man would have to be absolutely thrilled with what his team has done at that end of the floor for 32 minutes.
Well, to be ranked #1 in defense and #1 in offense is a very strong reason why you are the top of the ladder and you have home court advantage in the grand final.
Froling working on shoot. It's all the way through. Alicia Froling with the fancy footwork. And a fantastic finish.
And you said it, JP. Froling with the footwork. Okay, girl, I see you. That is nice. And another hand shoe foul.
What a postseason this woman is having. 14-4, important offensive rebounds in this game. Just continues to blossom.
Well, as we said early right in the start, that she was the MVP of the semifinal series against Southside. No doubt about that. Her consistency at both ends of the court in that series was phenomenal.
Game high 14-point lead here to Townsville. Foul on Milasoa. Her second personal. Fowler's playing with 3. Atwell picked up her third early in that third quarter. Wilson, Chippertoni, Shue, Maley and Atwell. So the 5 big guns out there for Perth. Soa, Woods, Froling, Fowler and Alice. As Atwell almost lost it once and then twice. Maley now takes charge of things. Chippertoni looking for the extra pass. Atwell beat the shot clock. Couldn't bank it home. And nothing is falling at the moment for the Perth Lynx.
Well, they looked so indecisive. Should I shoot it? Should I make an extra pass? It's just not like Perth Lynx at all, who are usually so confident.
Now Amy Atwell's just a little bit ginger behind play. 4th foul here on Atwell as well, as she just got the legs locked up. And see her there pull up a little bit sore on that left foot, or the left leg at least, but gestured to the bench that she was okay to keep going.
And on the offensive end, you said, Laurie, they second-guess themselves. They look to us. Is the pressure building to them right now?
Oh, it'd have to be. Scoreboard pressure is a real thing. And to be down this much in this 4th quarter.
Oh! Soa with a gorgeous move, just can't finish off her work. Chippertoni rushes back the other way. That is stunning stuff from Alex Chippertoni.
And that's just what Perth haven't got a lot of in tonight's game. They normally dictate the pace. They want transition. They haven't been able to do that.
Chippertoni just 3 of 12 on the night. Woods has been absolutely tremendous for Townsville.
Well, Perth are just having an amazing difficulty with dribble penetration and stopping that. You know, they close out, they go punch it in. They're just not being able to contain.
Atwell for 3, no good. Rebounding battle between Woods and Maley.
And you think, Laurie, with how great Woods has been off the on-ball, that maybe you would change it, as she has been such a threat. But Perth have stuck to the same principles throughout this whole 4 quarters. It'll be interesting to see in this timeout, do they change it up? Because she is punishing them.
Maley called for the foul, her 3rd as we head to the Paywise timeout. 73-59 with 6.5 remaining. And now it is time for the Perth Lynx to answer the biggest challenge that has been thrown to them in this season. Here you see our top 5 scorers, 3 of them for the home team. Courtney Woods has been sublime. A real captain's performance thus far with 22 points. Niolasoa caught fire to end the first half. Maley has been energetic as always on the boards, but only 2 in the second half. So they haven't been able to generate too many chances in that facet of the game. And Townsville, since half-time, have controlled the contest. They trailed by 3 at the main change. They now lead by 14. Of course, Game 2 on Sunday in Perth. Game 3 next Wednesday here if required.
The other thing about Townsville is that they are making really good choices and decisions when it comes to their shots. So therefore, they're in a good position, good rebounding position, and it's not allowing Perth to get a rebound and run. It's when you take uncharacteristic shots, nobody knows they're coming, that you allow that other team to get on a run. And Townsville have just been so disciplined in that area.
Paywise timeout. Let's start with Townsville. And Ariana, what did Shannon have to say?
Coach was drawing up some last-minute plays for his team, so not too much in that huddle. But honestly, I'm super impressed with just the tremendous ball movement that the Townsville Fire have displayed tonight. A master class in how to pass the ball. And what a lot of the viewers, as Abielis knocks down that 3, doesn't see is all the no-look passes and the look-offs that they've been giving Perth all night long. Carly?
Coach Ryan called for more ball to go through Han Shu on offense. He said, we've got to get her the ball in the post. It's going to be what is going to get us back in the game. Defensively, a bit oddly, he said he now wants them to force Townsville to use the middle corridor. So force the middle. It doesn't matter if it's on making them ice and on ball. He wants middle penetration.
Thanks, Carly. Thanks, Ariana. Here's our Amy replay of that ball movement that Ariana was talking about. And it's that Townsville offense at its fluid, dynamic best.
Well, it's ball movement, it's player movement, it's knowing exactly where your teammates are, getting to the right receiver spots, and then having the confidence to shoot. Scoreboard pressure right now is really against Perth, and Townsville are just feeling oh so comfortable.
17 and 4 for Alicia Froling. (78-59). Now they get it to Shu. Sees the double of Woods and Froling. Kicks it out to Wilson. To say they needed that was an understatement. Maley on the glass. Fouled by Alicia Froling, who almost reflexively disagreed with the call.
You could see, though, the aggressive double on Han Shu when she got the ball and made it really difficult to make a pass out to the perimeter.
Which is what we saw them do really effectively against Kayla George in that Southside series.
That really took them off guard, Southside, in Game 1. To their credit, they made some adjustments in Game 2, but they've been relentless with that double.
Annalie Maley sinks the couple of free throws. 9 and 11 for the WNBL's double-double queen.
It's really important for Perth that they play out this last 5 minutes. This is a 3-game series for a reason. They go back onto their own home court, so they want to make sure they go into that game feeling good about these last 5 minutes. And I think that's exactly why Shannon Sebo called a timeout right now, because he doesn't want them feeling good at all.
Absolutely not. He wants to just snuff out any momentum that they can build down the stretch of this game halfway through this final term. 78-63. Townsville on top at the Paywise timeout. And this Perth team, you see Annalie Maley there, very vocal in this huddle. They've been so close over so many years now. A little bit of a different model for them this year. They've been a high-powered offense. They've went more into the defensive side of the ball while still trying to maintain their offensive identity. And for the 5-time Coach of the Year, Shannon Seabaum, who's coached both of his 150th games with Townsville and his 200th game in the league in this postseason, he is trying to win another title to add to the one that he won in 22-23 with this very squad.
And there's still 5 minutes to play, so Townsville need to be aggressive. Don't just sort of be soft with the ball, start to second guess yourself thinking we have to protect the lead. Be aggressive. Also, Perth are on 5 team fouls. Look to go inside. Obviously, execute your offense, but take it at them. And you said it, Laurie, don't let Perth Lynx get the momentum for the end of this game. Take charge.
I think that's a classic example of what Shannon Seaborn said. Be disciplined in key moments. This is a key moment for Townsville. Don't let Perth back into the game. And the other thing Courtney Woods said was, stick to the script. And you'd have to say they have done that to perfection this game. Whether it's the scouts, whether it's the game plan, whatever they're doing, they have done it very, very well.
It's been a masterclass in execution thus far from this Townsville team. We've come to expect to be so dialed in on so many of those elements throughout the course of last season and of this season, of course. Went to 2 games in the grand final series against Bendigo last season, took care of Perth in 2 games. Just a note on those series that they've played in recent times in the playoffs. So 3 semi-final series over the last 3 years. Townsville won the first and the third. Perth won the middle one. They've all been decided in 2 games.
Isn't that an amazing stat? When I saw that and you go, these teams have played each other so many times in high-pressure situations. They've coached against each other. It's so fascinating.
They know a lot about each other. A little bit of a hold-up here on the floor. Ariana, you were right at the heart of that. Could you overhear what Daniel Batty was saying to the technical officials?
Absolutely. So during the third quarter at the 4-minute and 57-second mark, a 3-pointer was made by Annalie Maley, and it was waved away. They did not count that 3-pointer. It does count, so they have adjusted the score. Nothing with the time, but it has to do with the 3-pointer that they waved away in the third quarter that actually did count around the 4-minute mark, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Ariana. So that's the one that I was referencing in the commentary as Alicia Froling gets up close and personal with the Perth bench. So that was the one where there was a foul on the rebound underneath the basket. So that would make the score 78-66, which is the score being displayed in venue at the moment. So Annalie Maley, that would have, at the time, the 3 would have tied it up at 54. As now there's a foul off the ball. Daniel Batty calling that foul. Soa Woods, Froling, Fowler and Alice the lineup here for Townsville. Wilson, Chibitoni, Shue, Maley and Atwell for Perth. Trying to find a way back into this game and avoid going down 1-0 in the series as we head back to Perth on Sunday. Abby Ellis with an important rebound, and someone who's on the diminutive side, let's say, her 7 rebounds is a very impressive feat in this game. Now she pulls up from the elbow. Can't get that to fall. It was a little bit short. Maley through the lane. Off to Shue, who pushes that one home.
Now you can't get any easier than that. Attract the defenders. Get it up in the air. Han Shue will just catch that and roll the basket in.
Now the takeaway for Perth again. And maybe just starting to plant the seed of doubt. Atwell for 3. Ooh. Gee, that would have been colossal. Maley pulls down the rebound. Fowler got a hand on it. Atwell on the drive now. Shue, Chibitoni from the wing. Got it! Alex Chibitoni cans the triple.
And this is when Perth are at their best, when they're getting defensive stops to ignite their offensive transition and get the ball up with pace.
So am I correct, Joel, that it is a 7-point game right now?
I believe that's what's being showed in venue, Laurie. So if that 3-pointer from Annalie Maley counts, it is a 7-point game.
Wow.
What a turnaround in momentum.
Free throws here for Milasoa, as we've spoken about. Perth is in the bonus from this point forth. Soa makes the first there.
As we said, Soa 93% foul shooter. That is now 66 out of 71 free throws made this season. Unbelievable.
She's automatic from there, which is a testament to her skill and the work she puts into her craft. Courtney Woods, after the call, is perplexed. That's her 4th personal. So that's the Annalie Maley, you can see there, 4:56 on the clock. So that was in the 3rd quarter. That is the Annalie Maley foul. So at the time it made it 54 apiece. They waved it away because the foul was on the play. That was the basket that was reinstated. That would make it 80-71 at the moment. Atwell, Chippertoni, 3-ball, offline. Alice trying to fight for that rebound and keeps it alive.
I was on my tippy toes just as Ellis was. That was a big rebound that they needed to get.
Fowler off to Woods. 2.5 remaining here in game 1 of this grand final series. Woods got shoe in the air, carves her way through, denied by Maley. Annalie Maley doing her level best. Amy Atwell has it poked loose. Abby Ellis dives on the floor. Fowler's in there as well. They are all up for the fight now.
That was great defense by Ellis, getting up in the pocket of Atwell.
I'm just so surprised Atwell didn't shoot that. That's just, she doesn't need much time and space.
Does that speak to the second guessing and the situation, perhaps? The way that this second half has gone for Perth, they just don't appear to have that same clarity of thought that we would expect. So 4th foul being handed out there. Wilson, part of that. You can download the free WNBL app now. Scan the QR code on screen, stay across everything, live scores, stats, behind the scenes, footage, and so much more right in the palm of your hand. Alex Fowler misses the first free throw. Second one will go. 10-point game. A little bit of intrigue with that score as you reach this 2-minute warning in the final term. Maley drops it off to shoot. That is easy money.
Well, it is, and you wonder why they weren't doing a little bit more of that during the game. Draw the defender.
Fowler thought long and hard about it. Tosses it back to Alice. 10 on the shot clock here. Fowler for 3. Alex Fowler with a massive hit.
We saw Perth were just not in their 1-3-1, but a 2-3. So they just allowed so much space for 3-point shots.
And Han Chu again finishes at the other end. She is keeping Perth close.
It's really important that Perth come up with a stop here. You can't just trade baskets when you're 9 points down.
Chu with 14 in the game. Now to the Townsville captain. 84-75, a minute 15 left.
Good shot management by...
Atwell stepped on the line as she was trying to keep it in. 2.5 seconds on the shot clock here.
Townsville need to continue to use the clock, but not go negative. They need to still look at different options out there.
Woods will inbound. They've got the best 3-point shooter in the league on the floor in Abby Ellis in terms of percentage, and one of the most dangerous at any time in SOA. It'll go down to Froling, takes it baseline on Chu, fritters it away, and that is a costly turnover. It would take something very special for the Perth Lynx, but of all the teams in this competition that this situation is not beyond the realm of, the Perth Lynx are right at the top of that list.
Well, when you go, they need 3 threes, they need 3 stops. Like you say, they're not shy about taking that 3-point shot, so they'll be setting some things up right now for various players, whether it's Atwell, whether it's Wilson.
So a minute 9 remaining. As we said earlier on in the game, Townsville won the 2 games combined by 15 points that they won earlier in the season. Perth's lone win came by 16 points. 1 point separated them in the season series. We had 9 lead changes in the game before Townsville started to run away with it in that third term. And Townsville trying to go one up in this series with this first game at home. 84-75 with just over a minute to play. The Lynx need something very, very special, Beck.
They sure do, and it's interesting. I know it's a different ball game and it's a different team, but Han Shu and Meili averaged 18.5 points and 23 points in their semi-final series, and they've been kept to just 16 and 12. So that's been a huge factor in today's game. Even though they have multiple players in double figures, it's low.
And a lot of that from Shu has been late in the piece. Carly, what did Ryan Petrick have to say at the huddle?
It's very much drawing up a play for this last play here.
Oh, Amy Atwell!
Amy
3 and a foul!
And a foul!
If that was going to get them going, that is incredible stuff. She'll get the opportunity at the line. After all the excitement of that, Carly, feel free to finish off where you were taking us.
I was going to say, I can tell you that was not the play that was drawn up, but I think Coach Ryan Petrick will be very pleased that they didn't go with his play and they went with Amy Atwell instead.
Amazing. Amy does it again and makes it a 5-point game. Now we're under a minute to play, and Perth have made this very, very interesting. Trailed by 19 earlier in this quarter. They trail by 5. Fowler for 3. That won't fall. Rebound to Froling.
And that is a huge offensive rebound by Alicia Froling right there.
Well, it now forced Perth into having to foul to stop the clock, send them to the foul line. That was, like you said, Beck, a really, really crucial offensive rebound.
Alicia Froling with 17 and 6. Free throw falls for Abby Ellis. 7-point Townsville lead. 3-possession game with 40 to play.
It's tough, but it's not impossible with Perth Lynx and the firepower they have.
It's not impossible with Amy Atwell on the floor for the Lynx. Meili will bring it up. Takes it all the way in. Stepped on the paint. Turnover. And Townsville will take back the rock. Horvat comes out after the defensive possession. Abby Ellis comes back in. There was a 3-point Perth lead at halftime. Townsville turned that around in a big way in the third quarter. Meili picks up the foul, her 4th personal. And after doing it the hard way and winning through to the grand final in 3, the Townsville Fire in their home court with a couple of free throws here for Mila Soa. Looking a good bet to go one up in this series.
I'd love to know the stat, and I don't know, Joel, if you have this off the top of your head. Quite likely you do, but how many teams have won game 1 of a grand final series and won the series, whether it's in 2 or in 3?
Well, I think it's only happened a couple of times since we went to 3-game series, Laurie, in either semi-finals or grand finals. It is highly unusual that a team would come back from 1 down in these WNBL postseason series. And the Townsville Fire, having won their way back to this grand final, step up to the plate on their home floor and deliver a home run to start the grand final series. Townsville goes one up at home. They dominate the second half and then hold on in the face of a challenge to win 88-79. They will have the opportunity to close it out in Perth on Sunday. For the Lynx, they head west, trying to keep the series alive.
What a game 1 we had. first and second on the ladder for the regular season. What a performance from both teams tonight. It was neck and neck in that first half, but Townsville Fire came out with defensive intensity, and they only let Perth score 10 points. Their momentum changed, and what a huge win to get it done at home.
Well, they needed to get that win, and now all the pressure falls back onto Perth to win at their home venue too. It's almost like a free strike for Townsville to go back there one up, and that's something. That's why you battle all season to end up top, to be in this position to host game one of a grand final.
It was a tremendous first half, 45-42 at halftime. Perth led by 3. We had 8 lead changes and 11 ties in the first half alone. We had a 9th lead change when Townsville took the lead at 48-47. From there, they did not look back, and they win by 9 in the end, 88-79. The Fire get it done over the Lynx. And so they take a 1-0 advantage. They push that season series to 3-1. And Perth, our destination on Sunday for Game 2. Courtney Woods with a captain's performance, 22 points. She's alongside Ariana.
A captain's performance, great way to put it, Joel. Courtney, you guys got the job done. You threw the first punch. You won at home before going to Perth. How huge was this?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like game one's so important, especially when you're going to go into Perth, who play really great at home. So really happy we can get that. But obviously, one game doesn't mean anything in a series, so hopefully we can get the second one.
Critical rebounds from the offensive end down the line. How happy are you with your teammates?
With my defense? Oh, the team or me?
With your teammates stepping up and getting those rebounds down the end of the line.
Absolutely, they're huge. Like, they've got Maley, they've got Han, 2 of the best rebounders in the absolute league, so we knew it was going to take all of us. So really happy they came back at us hard in the fourth, so happy we could kind of keep the lead and come away with the win.
Thank you, Captain. Carly, over to you.
So amazing performance from yourself and your Townsville Fire, but 20 points from you, 100% from the free throw line and 50% from the three-point line. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, what a game that was. Yeah, that was intense, but, you know, we've got to go over and get that second game.
3 p.m. our time. So very quickly, talk to us about this amazing crowd and how important they were for you to get the win tonight.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's what, you know, the regular season coming first, this is our advantage that we get our crowd behind us to start off this series. You know, it's so loud in here, but, you know, they're going for us, so it's a bit of a bonus, gets us an energy boost. So, yeah, definitely the best fans in the whole league, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for putting on a wonderful performance for us tonight. You were great, and best of luck in Game 2.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Time for anything else?
Townsville take care of business in Game 1. Their home fans loving it, 88-79. We will wrap it all up on the other side of this. Well, game one in this grand final series certainly delivered on the promise. A 3-point lead to Perth at halftime, an 11-point turnaround after the main break. It is Townsville who win by 9 in the end, 88-79. And we go to Perth for Sunday, Beck, and now all the pressure's on Perth.
It sure is. Townsville winning at home is a huge advantage. Now they have to go to Perth. All the pressure is on Perth, Laurie.
Well, I have no doubt we've got two amazing coaches. I think Ryan Petrick, they'll look at the tape, they'll move those puzzle pieces around, and we will see a different game in game two.
They're looking for a response and looking to see what they can do. 4 o'clock Australian Eastern Daylight Time, 3 o'clock in Queensland, 1 o'clock in the West. Game two of this championship series. Townsville, too good. In game one, they take it on their home floor. 88-79 the final score, a second half domination. Courtney Woods led the way, and now Townsville have the opportunity to take the trophy on Sunday. Perth trying to fight their way back. Join us then for game two in this WNBL Grand Final Series of 2026.